player of the year, and this is the one that everyone's been looking forward to. I'm going to go last because I want to make sure that no one hates me. So let's go, Stephen. Do you want to go first?
It's okay. I'm used to people on the internet hating me. Yeah, I'll go with a certain group of people on the internet hating me. I will go with Alcaraz. I will go with Alcaraz to maybe solidify that hatred. But yeah,
it's very diplomatic.
He's the number one player in the world. He is the number one player in the world. I think kind of like the best player of the year is typically sorted by the rankings, and I know the rankings kind of almost don't mean anything this year. But he, to me, he was the biggest storyline. Like you look back through the years, and if you pick one standout player from all the last years, like to me, it was like Federer 2017, and then like Djokovic, like 2013, 14, 15, Murray 16. I think Alcaraz is the guy of 2022, and it probably maybe should have been Djokovic, but he didn't play two of the tournaments. People would say he wasn't allowed. Some will say he chose not to play. But the fact of the matter is Alcaraz was there all the way through, number one player in the world, and the most exciting player of 2022, in my opinion, for sure. So, and the player of the year for me.
Yeah, it's not most exciting, Stephen. Come on, get with the program.
He's everything.
He's everything, and what right into one. Very diplomatic, by the way. You didn't pick Djokovic or Nadal. Very clever. Gill, who's your best player of the year?
I don't know if it's diplomatic. I think that is the answer that has the largest group of people angry at you.
True.
You get both of them going.
I didn't even consider Nadal for some reason. Is that a problem, or is that?
Yeah, it is, because that's my answer. Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's my answer. Yeah, I mean, look, there has to basically. This award is generally going to go to the player who wins the most majors. There might be rare exceptions where someone's got two majors, another player has one, but the player who had one really tore it up in for the rest of the year. This is not one of those years. This is a year where Nadal had two majors, Alcaraz had one, Djokovic had one. You look at big titles, Nadal had two, Djokovic and Alcaraz had three each. You look at total titles, Nadal had four, Alcaraz and Djokovic had five each. So yes, with Nadal, all the injuries, some of the losses he suffered, being ineffective, over the course of the indoor hardcourt season, you can point to a couple of factors and say, well, he wasn't quite as efficient as the other two. But it was close. And if it's close, the majors are going to dictate. And to me, certainly Djokovic, if he could switch places with Nadal and have those two majors and be ahead in the slam race 22-21, I think Novak takes that any day of the week. And, as for Carlos Alcaraz, he's world number one because he had the most complete year. But, he didn't dominate as much as he would have needed to in order to usurp the player who won two majors in 2022, Rafa Nadal.
He won a lot of tournaments in the Alcaraz.
Five. Nadal won four.
Yeah.
So, you have a slight difference there. It's slight. It's not enough to me.
No, agreed. Cam?
Yeah, I've got Rafa. It's Djokovic, Rafa, Alcaraz. You can make an argument for all three. But like to Gill's point, I think two majors, you win two majors, it's hard to pick against that. And then also, I think maybe the French Open match between Djokovic and Nadal, that might have been, if that had gone the other way, then we might have been talking Djokovic more. Djokovic has definitely been the best player in the last couple of months. But for the year, he lost one match at a slam this year he got to play all four. He won two. He lost, he obviously withdrew against Kyrgios, but he did only lose one. Alcaraz, if you look at, I guess, wins and losses, did Alcaraz have worse losses than Nadal did, even though he didn't have, it's so hard this year to do any of this kind of comparison because there's so many players that didn't get a chance to play. Had Berrettini not got COVID and Wimbledon been complete, would there be a different champion? Maybe, who knows? If Zverev didn't roll his ankle, would he have beaten Nadal? There's all these things. If Djokovic played the Australian Open, would there be anything different there? Or the US Open, would Alcaraz have beaten Djokovic to win it? So it's such a bugger this year because of all of the things that have stopped us from getting complete fields. But I just got to go Rafa with two slams.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think you can get caught in the what if, and I get that Djokovic couldn't play 2 slams, and so Djokovic fans totally understand that, but it's just the way it is. I feel like we just have to focus on the tennis, the matches that were played, who played and who won what, and Nadal was on for the Canada Slam, right? So if you're on for the Canada Slam after the first 2 slams, then surely you've got to get it. He made the semis of Wimbledon, he pulled out because of injury. Not saying he would have won it, but of course, who knows what happens then against Kyrgios, etc. So that's fine. And the US Open, of course, loses to TFO, but that first half of the year, I think he was just incredible, the way that he came through it. So I think he definitely, for me, gets Best Player of the Year as well. If you want to take it on win percentage, Djokovic is actually the only player to have a higher win percentage, and that's because of the ATP finals where he went 6-0. So he was actually at 82%. He finished on 87% win to loss ratio, and Nadal was at 83%. Alcaraz on 82%, for anyone that cares. But I think if you look at the accomplishments and achievements in the year, it's got to be Nadal. So well done to Rafa. I know you definitely tune into this, so well done to you. And I'm sure this is your best achievement of the year.
Is that 3 Rafa versus 1 Alcaraz?
It is, yeah.
That's crazy to me. Like I know, my rankings was literally Alcaraz, Djokovic, Nadal, and I get that Nadal won 2 slams, but like you guys said, this is my rebuttal. I understand that, yes, I lost this, but Nadal won. Yeah, they're the asterisk slams. Like, which one are the most? Not saying that his are, but the Australian Open to me was deflated with Djokovic not playing. Wimbledon was deflated for sure to me. And then, yes, I kind of realized at the end, I was like, yeah, he did win 2 slams. But then for the last half of the year, and this is, again, probably recency bias, he just looks so beatable by, the top 35. And, if you're just player of the year, I think even though there was so much chaos and the product was heavily damaged by, the politics around tennis, the rankings still matter. And, I don't know, the biggest storyline to me was, did it not feel unmonumentous when Nadal won that Australian Open? It didn't seem like other times when he's even won slams that it felt more monumentous when he tied Federer's record almost to me. I don't know.
Oh, really?
That's just the vibe I got in the community. It was just he won the slam, but Djokovic wasn't there. That's what to me everyone almost said.
I think to me it wasn't, but again, maybe a little bit biased because I'm a bit of a fan as well. But I think because of the match, though, the way he came back, I thought it was really monumental because I didn't. And
me too. Me personally too. I thought it was the craziest, most monumental tournament of the year. But I don't know. That's just the vibe I got.
No, I didn't feel that way. I thought it was regarded as one of Nadal's greatest major finals. One of the greatest comebacks we've ever seen. But also, the quarterfinal escape against Shapovalov was insane and incredible. Look, I don't think Rafa did that much with his tennis to earn that. It was more Shapo. Sorry, Steven. But that was incredible. And the Felix match. No, sorry, that was Felix Medvedev. I'm getting that confused. What was the semifinal? Berrettini? Nadal Berrettini?
Yeah, Berrettini.
Anyway, I don't know. Look, I thought maybe some people boycotted, but those are people who watch tennis mostly for Novak. And I think there's a far greater population who are going to watch the Australian Open no matter what. And it doesn't matter if we're missing, certain individuals. I
think the fact as well that he got revenge over Novak at Roland Garros, I think also is a big one because he lost last year to him, right? So the way that he then beat him and then beat Felix in 5, which is a really tight one, he just played him before. Again, as you said, Stephen, the Zverev one is a bit kind of left a bit of a bad taste in the mouth. There's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, to me, it's just so close. If you first half of the season was Nadal was the best player, and I don't know, Alcaraz was the most exciting player, and then second half it was Alcaraz wins the slam, finishes the year as number 1, but then Djokovic is maybe the best player. So very hard to pick for me between those 3. But I understand, at the end of the day, majors is what counts the most in the big 3 era. So let's give it to Nadal. I'll concede.
Would Rafa be number 1 at some point this year if Wimbledon counted for points? Or was there? I know there was a debate going around the last couple of weeks if he would have been, or if Alcaraz
I guess he made quarterfinals there,
semifinals,
a semi, yeah.
But he lost.
He
Remember,
pulled out
he
the
pulled
semi-final.
out
Oh
of
yeah,
Kyrgios.
because I keep
Yeah.
thinking he lost to Fritz, but
No, he beat him with a
like,
100-mile-an-hour
Fritz
serve.
should not be allowed to be most improved because he lost that match. Like that was like
Yeah, was that
actually
choke? I don't know.
savage.
Anyway, God, that'll scar him. Although he beat him later on in the year, so it's all good in
Yeah.
the ATP finals. Cool.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for that. And yeah, Stephen Nadal. Remember, it's Nadal, 2022
Okay.
Player of the Year.
Fair enough.